What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the latest Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about the reports coming from Portugal that Liverpool are interested in Bruno Fernandes, the 24-year-old Portuguese international who scored a staggering 31 goals this season. And also we will exactly talk about how much exactly Liverpool earned from winning the Champions League, how much Liverpool earned from TV rights this season, which is a staggering amount, and also what John Barnes said about the Ballon d'Or race. And also we will learn what Jurgen Klopp exactly said after the Champions League final. So grab a drink and enjoy this video. And if you guys enjoy these Liverpool news videos, leave a like. It just takes a second for you and it really helps me out and shows me that you guys enjoy these videos. And Liverpool have joined Tottenham and Manchester United in the transfer battle for Bruno Fernandes. According to reports coming from Portugal, according to the record, Fernandes is wanted by Liverpool, and his agent Miguel Pinho is now flying to London for some showdown talks next week, which is very exciting because, you know, next week starts on Monday. And Liverpool have an office in London, so that doesn't rule out Liverpool at all. In fact, that actually is a very good indication that Miguel Pinho, his agent, is wanting to secure a move to the Premier League for Pinho. As I said, he is just 24 years old and he could win another international trophy tonight against the Netherlands. I'm of course rooting for the Netherlands, but I will watch this guy and how he plays. Sporting, you know, they are appearing to be resigned to losing Fernandes after his stunning season where he scored 31 goals in all competitions in just 50 games, and he got a bunch of assists as well. And they will, probably Sporting will demand a big transfer fee, something in the region of 60 to 70 million pounds, which I think is a lot of money, but it's not like an extraordinary amount of money considering that Liverpool sold Coutinho for double that. 142 million pounds. And Abola have reported that Manchester United wanted and demanded a meeting with Sporting to secure the deal as early as possible. But I think Bruno Fernandes wants to play in the Champions League, and Man United at the moment are not even close to being as attractive as the Champions League winners Liverpool. And of course Tottenham are interested in Bruno Fernandes because Eriksen came out and said in an interview that it's time maybe for a new challenge. So Eriksen is looking for a way out of Tottenham and they want to replace him, but I don't think that Tottenham can compete with the wages and the transfer fee with clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United. And Fernandes himself gave an interview last month where he admitted his desire to play in the Premier League. This is what Bruno Fernandes said: "If an irrefutable proposal for me arrives and it's good for the club, let's get together and decide together. I always said that I was an ambitious player, and from a very early age I have had a dream of playing in the Premier League in England, where you can live pure football without big controversy, without big cases." That is a very commendable interview by Bruno Fernandes, saying that he is a big fan of the Premier League. And just in the Portuguese league, Bruno Fernandes scored 20 goals and got 13 assists, but overall he scored, some reports say 31, others say 32 goals. And Bruno Fernandes actually said that he would love to play for Liverpool because their playing style is brilliant and it's a lot more suited to him and how he likes to play football than Manchester City. And this is what he said: It is Man City that plays more or less in the way of Barcelona, but not just because the championship is different, the intensity is different, the aggressiveness is different, the competition is different, and Guardiola knew how to change it. City without the ball has the intensity of the 11, can in a moment of pressure put the opposition team in a corner, in block, and ends up stealing the ball. And this is where the most interesting part of the interview comes. I like Liverpool a lot more. It's a more direct, more offensive, maybe less organized, but more intense football. When you do not have the ball possession, you are more intense. These are Bruno Fernandes' comments. And that he made these comments just after the Premier League title race finished, so before the Champions League final. And I think after the Champions League final, he would see Liverpool as one of the best clubs to join. Many players would want to play for Liverpool now. And I think Bruno Fernandes is a player who would fit into Jurgen Klopp's playing style brilliantly. And since we have chased an attacking midfielder for so long, basically since we sold Coutinho, we almost signed Nabil Fekir, and I think that desire from Jurgen Klopp is still there to bring in Bruno Fernandes, who would score a lot of goals from the Liverpool midfield. I mean, imagine what he could do in the Liverpool team with much better players around him. No disrespect to Sporting Lisbon, but they are only the third best club in Portugal, and he scored 32 goals for them. I mean, that's mind-blowing, a return from midfield. That's a brilliant return. And last season he scored 16 goals as well. So this is not a fluke. This guy is a very prolific player. Interestingly, he started off his career in Italy. He played for Novara in the Serie B, and then he played 3 seasons for Udinese and then 1 season for Sampdoria before he went back to his home country, Portugal, to sign for Sporting. And for Sporting, as I said, he scored 47 goals, which I think is a lot. Very impressive numbers. And he's already a quite experienced player. He's just 24 years old, but he already played 259 games and he has 12 appearances for the Portuguese national team as well. According to this newspaper, Ed Woodward is stalling on a move for Bruno Fernandes. So the report is saying that Solskjaer is a big fan of Fernandes and he wants Manchester United to sign him, but Woodward is not so sure. And this is, I think, the main problem at Manchester United, that Ed Woodward is a businessman. He's not a football man. So he should be only responsible for making the best business deals for Manchester United, but he is in charge of transfers at Manchester United, and I think that has been their biggest downfall. And again, once again, this is indicated here that Manchester United are showing indecision in the negotiations, despite the fact that they called for a meeting with Sporting Lisbon next week. And I think the Bruno Fernandes' agent will meet with Liverpool and Tottenham representatives just to hear them out and see their proposal. So this is where Liverpool can come in and make themselves heard in the deal. And I think that Liverpool will sit down with his agent and see their wage demands. I think Liverpool will only spend 60 million or 70 million on Bruno Fernandes if Fernandes shows that he really wants to play for Liverpool. But according to his comments, he sees Liverpool as probably the best footballing side to play for in England. So I really hope that he goes to Liverpool. We shall wait and see what happens in this deal, but I wanted to report the news as accurately as possible for you guys. And Bruno Fernandes is a player who can score from anywhere. He can score free kicks, he can score from long range, he can score from the edge of the box. Scoring 32 goals is very difficult, even in the Portuguese league, which is like not in the best league in the world, but it's a great numbers, and not many people scored this many goals in Portugal in one season from midfield. So Bruno Fernandes is a very big talent, and I really hope that Liverpool sign this guy. And the Liverpool Echo is reporting that Liverpool earned more than 150 million pounds from the Champions League win, and that is not just Liverpool Football Club earning that, but of course the city as well is profiting from the Champions League win. And the eyes of the world were on Liverpool when the trophy parade happened. And the Liverpool Echo claims that the global news media outlets flew to Merseyside or went to Merseyside. There were more than 250 accredited journalists from places like CNN in the US to Brazil and China, and that was amazing for the brand of Liverpool and as a city around the world. We would have played a few million quid for that kind of advertising, according to Liverpool's mayor Joe Anderson. It is fantastic for the city. I've talked a lot about the tourism and visitor economy. That's what the mayor said, and what it means for us. Liverpool FC are the biggest contributors to that. What they have done for the brand of Liverpool on a global scale is incalculable, and that's true. I think a lot more tourists will go to Liverpool because of Liverpool FC now that they are the Champions League winners, and that's good for all parties. And according to the Football Insider, Liverpool picked up an incredible £251 million just from television rights this season across all competitions. So that includes the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup and the League Cup. And I think it's brilliant that just from the Premier League alone, Liverpool earned £160 million, which is brilliant. And from the Champions League, they earned probably like 75 million. And Liverpool earned more than Manchester City in the Premier League, despite Manchester City becoming champions, but Liverpool were watched by more people, and Liverpool's games were broadcast by more television companies than Manchester City. And of course we are a much bigger club than Manchester City, with a lot of bigger fan base because of our history, and now I think even more people will become Liverpool fans because of us winning the Champions League, and that's a good thing. I think the more fans Liverpool have, the more global reach Liverpool has, and the more money can be reinvested into the squad to make Liverpool even better. And that's what we all want as Liverpool fans, to challenge for the big trophies year in or year out. And the Liverpool owner John Henry promised that Liverpool will reinvest into the playing squad to become even better, and we will not stop. We will try to improve the squad in the summer, and that's music to my ears. The Liverpool owner said that we will strengthen the squad before the start of next season. And John Barnes, the Liverpool legend, commented on the Ballon d'Or and why Virgil van Dijk could possibly win the big award. He said, normally when you look at the Ballon d'Or winners, they are either attacking midfield players or centre forwards, they are goal scorers and eye-catching players, but there haven't been any of those types of players who have really set the world alight this season. But from a point of consistency and from a point of success, for me, Van Dijk would have to be the man. It's obviously very difficult to decide, because I don't agree that with John Barnes that there aren't any attacking midfielders or strikers who have set the world right this season. I think Messi has been incredible. The amount of goals that he scored, it's not because of Messi that Barcelona didn't win the Champions League or the Spanish Cup title. But the argument could be that Van Dijk already won the Champions League, he is in the UEFA Nations League final, and if he wins the UEFA Nations League, it's not like a really big international trophy, but it's still an international trophy that could swing the vote to Van Dijk. On the other hand, if Messi wins the Copa America with Argentina, which he is desperately to do so, Messi himself said that he will not rest until he wins an international trophy with Argentina. If Messi wins the Copa America, I think Messi slightly just deserves it. I'm coming from a point of honest opinion and trying to be unbiased and balanced here, because as a Liverpool fan, of course I want Van Dijk to win the Ballon d'Or. Not since Michael Owen in 2001 has been any Liverpool player even close to winning the Ballon d'Or. I think Gerrard came third in the voting in 2005, which was brilliant. It would be a big surprise if Messi didn't win, I think, but there are more and more people saying that the impact that Van Dijk had on Liverpool is really remarkable, really something else. I think that if Van Dijk wins the Nations League and Messi doesn't win the Copa America, then Van Dijk deserves it. If Messi wins the Copa America, fair play, then he deserves the Ballon d'Or. But let me know, what do you think about the Ballon d'Or running? Sturridge gave an interview what kind of team talk helped Liverpool win the Champions League final against Tottenham after a not too very successful first half in terms of Liverpool didn't play their best football in the first half. So this is what Sturridge said about the Champions League final halftime team talk. When we got in at halftime, everyone started speaking about how they felt we needed to improve for the second half. In the Europa League, we were 1-0 up at halftime and we lost 3-1. We had a long talk as a group of players on Wednesday. We said, if we go 1 up, how do we play? If we go 1 down, how do we play? It's about being prepared for everything. That was important, just the players hashing it out. We haven't had those conversations before. I feel like maybe before the Europa League final, we didn't prepare as well. We have had 2 European finals before this year, so we have learned much more. And I think that's what helped Liverpool a lot in the Champions League final, because previously we didn't have the experience of a Champions League final. And even though we lost against Real Madrid, that was a valuable lesson to Liverpool. On the other hand, Tottenham looked like rookies in the Champions League final. They looked like they mentally weren't prepared for all different scenarios. And yes, it can happen that you are 1-0 down after just 1.5 minutes in the Champions League final. And I think Liverpool were prepared for all scenarios, Tottenham weren't, and that was probably the difference between the teams. And Jurgen Klopp said that he actually felt mostly relief after winning the Champions League final. He said, I feel mostly relief, to be honest. Relief for my family actually, because they are pretty close to me, and the last 6 times we always flew on holiday with the silver medal, and that doesn't feel too cool. This is completely different this year. It's for them as well, that's great. For the supporters of course, but for our owners as well, because they never put real pressure on us. They appreciate the development, they see the steps we make, and it's for them as well, this Champions League final win. For the players, we were pretty much crying on the pitch because it was so emotional, it was so big, it means so much to us. I'm so happy for the boys. We know what people said about a couple of players of this team. Jordan Henderson is captain of the Champions League winner. That's satisfying actually. That James Milner did it at the age of 33. They are all very important, but I can say again, without Milner in the dressing room talks before the game, with a non-native manager like myself, I think it would not be so possible. It's so important. And Jurgen Klopp here alludes to the fact that James Milner, with his experience, he already won the Premier League with Manchester City, won trophies with Man City, he has been to a lot of clubs, and with his experience, Milner helps the team talks shaped in a fact that it helps the team the most. And yes, Jurgen Klopp is not a native English speaker, but he has very, very good English. Even before he came to Liverpool, I was very impressed with his English language skills at Dortmund. When he gave interviews in English, it was always a fun listen actually. But I think Liverpool having experienced players helps a lot. And now with Liverpool tasting what truly winning a big trophy, what it tastes like, tasting the victory, I think Liverpool will be hungry for even more. And we should try to do what Manchester City did this season and win 2, 3, 4 trophies and go all out in almost every competition. I want still Liverpool to play the youngsters in the League Cup, but I want Liverpool to play a strong team in the FA Cup, in the Champions League, in the Premier League. We'll definitely play our strongest team, but even in the Community Shield final, or the UEFA Super Cup final, or the Club World Cup final, semi-final, we want Liverpool to play their strongest possible lineup and hopefully win as many trophies as possible. So we are looking at a great upcoming season, and I will be reporting for you guys around everything Liverpool FC. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. It's been a great ride so far, and the best I think is yet to come. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later, goodbye.